So, if I had someone within the pod ask me about the intent function in Kotlin, I would start with explaining to them that it is a function that starts a new activity, and this activity can be different. So, to start, it could be as simple as moving from one screen to another. So, you could be moving from screen A to screen B. You could be receiving data, something like a string of text, and trying to move that data from screen B to screen A. So it all just kind of depends. And within the intent function, there's a set of instructions, the syntax, I guess, if you will, that tells exactly what the intent function what to do. So if you were in the main file for your Android Studio app that you were creating, you would call the intent function and then you would specify um, where you wanted to start the intent. So for beginners, it's pretty much like this file. I want to start at this file, and then the next parameter you would call is where you want the file to go to, or the data, or whatever the next set of functions was. So, like if you wanted to go from screen A to screen B, and you were on the screen A file, you would call this, and then you would send it to screen B. And then there's a different set of instructions that you could give it if you were to call a string, if you were to call data from a database. So it all just kind of gets more in depth the more you go into it. If I didn't know how to answer that, I would just be straight up with the student and be like, I don't know. But I would research it, like give me a second, let me do some research really quick, let me see if I can help you. And if not, um, do some research on your own outside of the pod, read articles, watch videos, stuff like that. And even if you don't understand it, even after diving deeper into the subject, don't give up. I didn't understand everything at first, and I still don't sometimes. But you just got to um, keep just trying to understand it because eventually you'll get it. You just got to keep watching videos, and your mind's gonna naturally just solve those problems, and it's gonna make sense. Um, so yeah, that's pretty much it. Um, so for the second part of the prompt, if I joined a pod and all of the cameras were off and nobody was talking, I would first begin with just asking everybody, like, hey, let's just turn on our cameras, y'all. Let's just make sure we're here. Um, and then I would kind of ask for everybody's name, even though it would probably say on the screen, like, hey, like, what's your name? Where are you from? How's your day going? Just like a small icebreaker, to kind of get them away from the code if the code could be overwhelming them, or if they're in the zone and they're typing away, they can just keep doing that. I don't want to get anybody out of their flow, but I would just want everybody to be engaged in the conversation before I even kind of reached out about helping them with code, because I feel like that could help sometimes, where they could feel a little nervous or something. I don't know, because being on the computer is odd enough as it is. You don't have that. We have the face to face, but not person to person. So, and then I would just ask anybody if they needed any help with their code, if they were stuck on anything. So I would do that. And if I could help them, I would help them. And if I couldn't, I would try to lead them in a direction where they could get help or they could explore different options. I would offer them to go to tutoring and office hours. So just kind of stuff like that, and helping them guide their way through the code because it can be difficult. I went through it last semester. It was not easy. I definitely came up on my road bumps, and I would describe that to them, even if it seems impossible at times. it's not, and you just got to keep coding. Just keep coding, and eventually you're going to get to the end and you're going to figure everything out. So that's what I would do in that situation. And that is it. Hopefully I did good.